this. Now watch this. Matt Ryan overthrows Julio Jones. Julio has to turn into a defender against safety Jeff Heath.
Given their injuries, he might be the best defensive back they have left.
Yes.
I mean, this was a huge play in the game.
That was a huge play. Very smart. The wide receiver knows he has no chance. Once you know you have no chance to catch the ball, you must turn into a defender, even if you have to interfere with them, because you still have possession of the football.
All right, college football. Wisconsin's Danny Davis makes an unbelievable one-handed touchdown grab.
Well, you don't see that out of Wisconsin very often now. Let me see that.
Now, this right here will be my evidence when I present my case that it is the gloves.
About the gloves, I knew it.
When the people in Wisconsin start grabbing it like that, it must be the gloves. Like, they known for stuff, but gloving it's not it. Producing big old linemen and things like that, but not that.
I mean,
it's the gloves, people.
But he does a good job holding off the defender with the left hand, right? Going up and snagging it.
Did he land in bounds here? Did he get
one butt cheek? One butt cheek.
Okay.
One butt cheek equals 2 feet.
Now, I need
That's
to
my
know.
corner. All right, Big Ben and the Steelers trying to make it 6 wins in a row, taking on the team that, for whatever reason, has their number in the Jaguars. Ben throwing 3 picks, including that one into the end zone to Jalen Ramsey. See? Got their number. Steelers down 16-0. Then the comeback begins. Down 3 with less than a minute to go. Roethlisberger connects with Antonio Brown, who takes it down to the 2. All right, we got 8 seconds left. Big Ben runs in for the touchdown. Jalen Ramsey cannot believe it. Jags have lost 6 straight now. Steelers go on to win 20-16. Here is Ben on the comeback.
We just never quit, you know, and that's what's kind of special about this group is we're going to fight to the end, and we literally fought to the end.
Against a defense that's they make their feelings known. How did it feel for you to get the last laugh in this case?
Well, they're a really good defense. Like I said, they like to talk a lot before the game, during the game. But I'm carrying the game ball home.
It's a very happy Ben Roethlisberger right there. All right, Nick, what did the Steelers show you from this come-from-behind win last night?
Man, that the Jags do have their number. Like, that the Jags, something about this Jags defense
about this team
really bedevils Ben Roethlisberger. Even in the playoff game where the Steelers put up a bunch of points, he was throwing pick after pick. But it also showed me this Steelers team is resilient, is well coached, and recognized, man, there are no giveaway games here. It would have been so easy. I know you don't really quit in a football game, but when you are down 16-0 and you can't, the one time you've moved the ball and in with a pick in the end zone, it wouldn't have shocked me if they would have said, you know what, we're going to run James Conner, see if he pops one, and it's just not our day. And that's not what they did. And they got, to me, their best win of the year, all things considered. Their most impressive win of the year, all things considered. And with a loss, they're all of a sudden the 4th record in the AFC. With a win, they maintain the 2nd best record in the AFC.
It's clearly in sports, there are teams that match up better against other teams. And sometimes it's not on the tail of the tape. You just can't see it. It's not, oh, I think their linebackers are good against their run game. Sometimes you just can't. How they match up against Pittsburgh's offense from a Jacksonville defensive standpoint, and they force Pittsburgh into multiple turnovers almost every time they play them. So when you have that type of recipe, now what they typically have the last several games, Jacksonville over Pittsburgh, is also they've had more explosive offenses by Blake Bortles. They had that the first half. They were not able to make any adjustments in the second half. That was the biggest thing in this game. When I look at this game, and I thought your points were exactly as far as the matchups, certain teams have other teams' numbers. But you don't win 5 games in a row just by accident in this league. So you could start to see the Pittsburgh Steelers. And there's 3 things I'm going to take from this game. Number 1, oh, spicy mouth Jalen Ramsey. He is a hell of a football player. And when he is focused, there is a style. The reason why he plays that way, his height, his speed, his intensity, his ability to be able to catch the football. That's why he's a special footballer. That was the number 1 thing I took from the game.
He was great.
Number 2 thing I took from the game, Mike Tomlin is a good football coach, and you could see it down 16-0. The adjustment they made at halftime and what they did to them in the 4th quarter. From a strategy standpoint, that was my 2nd point. 3rd point is Ben Roethlisberger is a bad dude. That's the reason why he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's won so many games like this. In bad weather, on the road, looks bad for a half, 3 quarters. But
all but 5 minutes.
When it is money time, it's like he's like one of those veteran quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, like Tom Brady. They can have 2.5, 3 bad quarters and then come light you up. And if you look at the game from the time they were down 16-0 and look what Ben did, his numbers were phenomenal. So those are the 3 things that I thought you should really take. You shouldn't leave that game and not know. Jalen Ramsey's special. Mike Tomlin is a very, very good football coach. You can see from a strategy standpoint. And that guy, Big Ben.
Big Ben, after playing really poorly early, like
yes.
and even late on the comeback, down 16-13, he throws a perfect ball to James Conner for the game-winning touchdown, and he just drops it. And then is able to, it looked like he threw a pick to end the game in the end zone, but then you saw it wasn't his fault at all. His receiver got pulled down by his face mask. And the game-winning touchdown, that was not a quarterback sneak. That was a shovel pass.
Yes.
It was a called shovel pass, and Ben
called shovel pass. Also, the quarterback can run. And,
yes. And Ben on the play, he sees the shovel pass in there, gets hit, and gets it across the goal line. But I do want to talk about this from the other team's side, the team that knocked Pittsburgh out of the playoffs last year. Why did Jacksonville not go to the Super Bowl last year? Because in the second half against New England, they tried to run out the clock instead of continuing to play. They got up 16-0 on Pittsburgh. They had 4 drives, 3 and out every time. Run up the middle, pass, punt. Run up the middle, sack, punt. Run up the middle, pass, punt. Run up the middle, run up the middle, punt. It wasn't just that they were running. It was Leonard Fournette into the teeth of the defense every single time. The Steelers, I know they didn't have Stephon Tuitt. Maybe the Jags thought this was their best path, but they were so afraid of Blake Bortles making the awful mistake that they gave Pittsburgh extra possessions, and Pittsburgh, with 4 seconds left, wins the game.
Can I just add one more to your list of 3, which is takeaways, is this Pittsburgh defense, which we all talked about coming into this season. If you had one concern with Pittsburgh, it's going to be their defense. You don't have Ryan Shazier. How are they going to fill that role? Their defense has played really well for the last couple of weeks, and they kept them in the game yesterday until Roethlisberger, Wright, was able to put things together in the last 5 minutes.
The Steelers are now, in their last 16 road games, 14-1-1. The losses are an overtime loss, Chicago, and a loss, a tie, I should say, and a tie to Cleveland early in the year. Like, that was the knock.
That one loss and the one tie, they were all Mike Tomlin's fault.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say.
It's all the players on the wins that won and won. They were Tomlin's.
Right. Time now for Put a Grade on It, sponsored by CarMax. Ben Roethlisberger had an up-and-down day on Sunday, as we just mentioned. On the one hand, he threw 3 picks, and with the same hand, he threw for over 300 yards and ran in the game winner. CC, put a grade on Big Ben's day.
I'm going to give him a B. And the reason why is because I always try to tell my kids and everything, the professor's going to give you a decent grade for just participating. If you show up and say, man, I'm here every day. I'm doing the best I can do. I'm trying. Like, it's not the best work. I'm turning in pop quiz on me. I'm turning in C's and everything. But final exam, I did ace the final exam, and that brought me up to a B. So I'm Ben Roethlisberger, a B, because he stayed in there steady. And I said, you got to go to class, Nick, right?
Right.
Can't be sleeping in your room and everything.
He was failing up until the midterm and the final, and he did great on both of those. So I'm with you on the B. I can't give him...
Little Ben was doing good. He was participating in class. He was there every day. He ain't the smartest student, Nick.
No.
Okay?
I can't give him an A because of the things he mentioned, but what should be noted is this. The Steelers had no rushing game. James Conner, 9 carries for 25 yards. He had to throw the football, and early on, the Jacksonville defense was solving him. He made big plays late. The pass that James Conner dropped, the run, the touchdown pass we just showed, so that brings up to a B.
So both of you gave him a B. All right, that's good. All right, take a break. Coming up, could Lamar Jackson be the long-term answer for the Baltimore